Hello everybody, this is your host Travis. Welcome to T-Pole's Corner, our little corner of YouTube where we cover Magic the Gathering with gameplay. And today is day 17 of Evergreen month, where we focus on a keyword mechanic as defined by Wizards of the Coast. Yesterday we covered Death Touch, so today it only seems fair to cover Lifelink. So if you're brand new to the game, Lifelink is still pretty self-explanatory. Damage dealt by a creature, planeswalker, or spell with lifelink also causes its controller to gain that much life. So what we're doing is we're taking the metric of lifelink. We're basically finding all the creatures that have lifelink, we're putting them all in one deck, and we're seeing if we overload our opponent with a bunch of lifelink threats, if they can handle it, if it gives us any advantage. So we've got 21 planes, so that's a little bit cheaper than we normally run for lands. We've got 34 creatures though, so we've got so many 1-drops, it's just disgusting. We can put down something every hand. We'll probably end up top decking quite a bit. We'll probably run through our hand because we can lay everything out really fast. The biggest thing we've got is a Valkyrie Harbinger. Okay, so we've got 4 Alseid of Life's Bounty. They have lifelink. You can also sacrifice them and give another creature protection from the color of your choice until end of the turn. 4 of Anointed Chorister. You can pump them up when you have enough land. 5 lands gets them +3/+3, so you can make them 4/4s. If you have 10 lands out later, you can make them 7/7s. 2 Beloved Princesses. They can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. 4 Charmed Strays. 1/1s, but if you get a second one out, the first one will get a +1/+1 counter on it because it has the same name. 3 Speaker of the Heavens, Vigilance and Lifelink, so they don't tap when they attack, and if we get enough health, 27 to be precise, you can tap them and create a 4/4 white angel creature. 1 Shadowspear. This gives the creature trample and lifelink. We don't actually need the lifelink at this point. Everybody's got lifelink, but it gives us trample. So if we have any kind of extra power, we can use that. Also, in case we run up against an indestructible person, this card is going to come in real handy. 4 Expedition Healers. They have lifelink as long as we control another cleric, which is pretty easy in this particular deck. Here's a Dwarf Cleric who's 2/2 with lifelink. That's from the Kaldheim expansion, one of the few more modern cards I put in here. Swift Response, destroys tap creature. You always need some kind of removal. This actually has very little removal because we have so many creatures. 1 Expel, to exile target tapped creature. If we can't destroy them, we'll exile them, right? 1 copy of Heliod the Suncrowned, who's an indestructible enchantment creature. If we can keep 5 white manas on the battlefield, he comes down and turns from an enchantment into a creature, and then you have a 5/5 indestructible guy who can give lifelink to others. Here's the nice part about this particular deck. Everybody already has lifelink, so if we're stretched for mana and we don't have 2 to spare, anybody who deals damage that gives lifelink, Heliod can give +1/+1 to a target creature that we control. So we don't need to worry about having the mana free in this deck. 4 Basri's Acolyte. The Acolyte has lifelink to start with. They also get to put a counter on up to 2 other target creatures when it enters the battlefield. 1 more removal card. This is kind of the third one. Blade Banish, to exile a target creature with power 4 or greater, because most of our creatures are cheap. 3 copies of Leonin Warleader. He doesn't have lifelink himself, so this is the one card that maybe we could put Shadowspear on, or Heliod could give lifelink himself. He creates 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. So you tap him to attack, the 2 cat creatures are automatically going to appear tapped and attacking as well. Moving on down the list, we've got 1 more removal card, not for creatures though, for targets or enchantments. 3 Baneslayer Angels that have not just lifelink but flying and first strike, so hopefully we don't have too many flying threats before I can get 5 mana down. And 1 Valkyrie Harbinger, who also has flying and lifelink, and at the beginning of each end step, if I gain 4 or more life in a turn, I get to create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. I left some cards out, like, let's see, few pop-up. Griffin's Airy. There's a lot of people that love to use Griffin's Airy in their life gain decks. All you need is to gain 3 life a turn, and you get a 2/2 white Griffin creature, and you're just trying to overpower them with a bunch of 2/2 white Griffins. There's a pre-made deck that new players get that has this in it already, and it's a very common staple. So I didn't want to use that particular card this time around, just because I want to demonstrate not the benefits of, you know, if you gain life this happens, but just the lifelink mechanic itself. I'll probably end up showing, you know, this card in other decks that I play, but in this case we just wanted to stick with creatures with the mechanic itself. So with that, we're going to take the deck out for a spin. If you're liking what you're seeing, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. We'll notify you when we post new content. We're going to put out a new deck every day for Evergreen month. And with that, hang tight. We're going to go to the gameplay. So see, even though we don't have a lot of land comparatively in this deck, I don't think we're going to have an issue. Although you notice, they did give me, out of 60 cards, they did give me the most powerful card in the deck right there. I think there's a conspiracy. See, they might have removal, right? So we want to keep our speakers always with them. Okay, that will either hold off attackers or cause him to start doing his removal spells, because he doesn't have a free mana to protect the healer. Okay, I'm okay with that. You're tapped out. I'm okay with losing a couple of life to get rid of a creature. Creature that is a problem. Okay, there we go. He's got lifelink now because we have a cleric out. We do have to worry about removal because we tapped everything. And he's going to be able to bring him back from the graveyard. We're going back down on the battlefield right away. Our best bet is to save the speaker. That's why he goes after him. That's the biggest threat to him. After that, we don't really care what he does, right? We don't care who dies. We don't care who we lose. You know why? You can't stop us. I should take out the Expedition Healer. Because the Expedition Healer is the only thing powerful enough to attack through the skeleton right now. You may want to keep him for damage, but I don't think the game's going to last long enough for him to get 7 mana down to use his brain power. actually a little bit easier than I thought it would be. But I think is a classic example of what happens when everything that you put down has lifelink, and the enemy's just not prepared to counter it. It's kind of an interesting, really cheap form of white aggro. I wonder how this would fare against a red goblin deck that's mono red. Anyway, it's our first outing and our first win. We like it when that happens. It's almost not worth asking if we have enough lands to play the deck or not when you've got 4 cards in your hand that start with mono 1. Removal! Expected. So for, maybe I should call this the Hydra lifelink. For every creature you remove, 2 more will take its place. Flyers. Gross. I need 5 mana, I think 5 lands before I can even think about dealing with flyers. So this may be something of my kryptonite here. But he doesn't have lifelink. He can only deal damage. Which means at some point he's going to have to stop attacking. You're going to take out the only thing without counters. That's all you're removing. And you're going to let me go, huh? Okay. This is going to be fun. I can kill you if you don't attack, but also if you don't attack. He has lifelink now! Aw, so sweet. Is that not like the best and only card he could have possibly gotten that would have helped him? Okay, so we'll do it. You have to block. Come on, let me pump him up. You have a board wipe. Part of the strategy of the lifelink deck is just to create such a big difference in life totals that they give up. It's one of the few decks where I intentionally designed it so they would give up based on life totals. Usually life is just a number. This could be 1 and I would still have a chance to win, depending on the type of deck I constructed. Doesn't matter sometimes if you are life 1 versus 1,000, but when you're dealing with lifelink, it kind of changes the equation on that. Anyway, second round, good demonstration of lifelink, yeah? I think so? Leave some comments in the comment section below. Let us know how we're doing. We'll do another battle. I think we got time. That seems like it might be some sort of dirty implication. I don't even want to try and say that name out loud. It makes it look like we're fighting. Okay, we did mention in here that the deck has a problem with flyers, right? Because I don't have much in the way of things to stop flyers until I get 5 lands out with the Flying Angels. Definitely willing to trade to get rid of Valentin now. He's probably not. Let's see, he's got Lifelink and Menace. I'm gonna need to keep a blocker out. And a pest deck might be the bane of my existence, because I didn't put a board wipe in this deck. It's all just life gain. Life gain and lifelink and no flyers. And whatever will I do? He's still down, so I don't need to worry about Valentin's power. Blockers. He's getting more life than I am. Who's got the real lifelink deck? Okay, let's see. I should send the Expedition Healer too. Trade? Beloved Princess? Does he have resurrection spells? Player will sacrifice a creature, I imagine. Probably discard a card. I'll lose a life and draw a card. And each player sacrifices a creature. I'll sacrifice Maybe I should put Charm straight down instead. With his pest spell, he's got plenty of cannon fodder to be able to sacrifice. Yep. Still going to attack. Make a sacrifice of creature deck so he can gain a life. That's fine. You don't have a board wipe, do you? Because if you want us to be able to have creatures that we can sacrifice, guess what, buddy? We're still keeping our... No, we can't, because he might have us discard a card, right? We're not going to have anything to discard. We're going to attack with everything we got. And he's not going to have much life left. We would have done things differently, but Rankle has the ability to discard a card, so we didn't want to leave the speaker in our hand. So if he blocks the most powerful among us all, makes us sacrifice 1, we still have enough to kill him. Unless you do something else this turn. Instant or sorcery spell? Aha! don't think you want to lose life and draw a card. You do. Wow. Which creature do we want to sacrifice? One of those. Okay. Everybody but him. Who are you going to block? I don't think it matters. Who else you going to block? I don't think it matters. You know why? We can pump them up. Even though they started out with flyers and had a very rare Rankle flyer that made us sacrifice creatures, Lifelink still wins the day. Let that be a lesson to all the forces of evil. Only one land. Shall we go for it? Yes, we shall. This is a perfect test case to see if it's justified to put so few lands in the deck and to see if we can get away with it. I like for a change having removal already up front. We could run into trouble real quick because they're green, and green has a way of getting really big creatures out really fast. Although I must say, it's a good start. It looks okay right now. Uh-oh, did the worm just turn? If you don't have a land drop, you're going to have to discard. Okay, you do have the land. Should we keep things the way they are? Yeah. I think I'm okay with trading someone. How about that? It looks as good as ever. Scoots form, really? Does not compute. You gonna team up on an expedition healer? No, we're just gonna take it. Okay. Aha. Is it worth me charging ahead? Yes. Really? Why did you not block? Maybe they knew it was useless. Anyway, I guess we could go on like this all night, but I think we demonstrated the effective power of Lifelink enough. And with that, we will take our leave. We will remind you that we're going to be putting out a new deck tomorrow with a different metric focus. We're going to look at a different mechanic, I should say. And if you enjoyed the gameplay tonight, please click like for us and or subscribe. And we'll catch you here next time. Have a good one.